Connecting cloud recording. So again, that first phrase. Try putting that much together. We'll go a little slower. One more. Is that gone for everyone? Okay. Great. Next, where did we end it? So it just sort of tags that last phrase. It's kind of like a little echo. So it's E, G, E, B, B. Okay. So that last phrase we had, let's do that much. So we'll go E, F sharp, G, D, E, B, D, and that's E, G, D. So try that much. We'll loop that a couple times. Okay, one more time on that. So you hear how it has that little, like, it's got like a little echo of that phrase in a way. So again, from that top. Next phrase. So it uses the same first phrase, second phrase is different. So it's A, G, A, B, A, G, A, and then you could do a quick A, B, A, A if you want. I like doing these pull-offs on that. Okay, and that's actually basically the whole A part. I picked a slightly easier one today just to make sure everyone is getting stuff we need, and we'll go a little harder for next week. It's the whole A part. That going for everyone? Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah.
Hey, all. Do you reckon, can you please play that second time ending again? Just the thing that starts on the A?
Yeah, there's various ways you could play this. Could do that at this tempo. I want to go A, G, A, B, A, G, A. And I'm sliding in there, but you could do that. You could also put in an extra B. A little triplet on that A, B thing. That'd be a nice spot for a triplet. A, G, A, B, A, G, A, B, A, A. You could also just do a bunch of A's. You could leave that quick little B out. It's a very subtle variation, but there's something kind of nice about that. Just do a straight triplet on that B.
learned it going up to the C too.
Let's do that. That's nice too, yeah. Yeah, you could do that as well. Yeah. And yeah, when you're playing in a session, those little things don't necessarily matter if you're playing it the same way. These are things that you can, if you're making a recording or something a little more, you wanted to make sure you were lining up your melody note for note with somebody else, you'd want to work that out. But it's fun. Yeah, all these sort of things, all those little variations are really fun. The more you get to know this music, like you'll hear those moments and it's really silly, but you might be like, ooh, I love how they went up to the C on that time. The second A part on the second time through. All those little things. And pretty much at any time, if you're playing almost any Irish tune, you can do an ornamentation of grabbing the note above or below it. If you're just kind of bopping around the scale, if you're adding in more notes sort of dancing around it, it will kind of work. That's sort of a lazy explanation of some ornamentation, but we've got that B part down pretty well, or A part down pretty well. Any questions about that before moving to our B part?
Can we just play it one more time before we move on?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, and here's my question. What key do people think this tune is in? What key do you think this is in?
Like some kind of Dorian, D Dorian maybe, or
A minor.
Oh,
It's I think it's more of a mixolydian. Like I never know. I always wonder what's chords on the
Okay. Yes, there's some various options for it, but we'll play it again. So just keep thinking about that while we're going through, for those of you who are ready to like kind of start thinking about the key. So start on that B note. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. I'm going to use Martha's C this time. It's really nice in the second half. One more with that C. One more for Flora. They're losing it over there. Something's funny. Yeah, I really like having that C as a variation to put in there. Specifically, like if you were to play, this tune's A, A, B, B, maybe on the second A, that would be a really nice sort of like variation and push into going into the B part. Yeah.
Yeah, I just have one question.
Yeah.
Because my camera is blurred, so I don't see when you go up or down, because the sound doesn't follow what the move. So would you mind just saying down, down, up, 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 down, down? Just
for the picking?
Yeah, for the picking.
Yeah. The pattern is always going to be just down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. A little variation. If you have a rest, I might not pick every bit, but if you were articulating, playing every single note in that jig count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the pick pattern is down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, and it never stops. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, Yeah, but in an example of a place in the tune, I have a little rest there, so I just leave out a couple pick strokes. But when I'm back into the structure of the tune, articulating every count, that's what I'll do. All right. What is going on with Flora? These guys you're losing it.
Sorry, someone just walked past our window, our neighbour, and they wanted to say hi, but we're like, we're doing a class, and he was like, what? And then it was really hard to communicate through the class. But it was embarrassing because he plays fiddle, and so we were nervous.
Caught in the act.
Nervous. But we're focused and we're here. Okay, we're back. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's good. I'm glad some excitement. It's good. It's dark here, so maybe I have a neighbor walking by the window, but they're just like standing in the dark in my yard watching me. So, yeah, pretty funny. All right, here we go. So the B part. Yep. Starts on the same note. Starts on a B, B up to C. And we'll get that phrase. B, C, B, C, D, E, C, C, A. One more time. One more. And the next line in the phrase happens right away. I have to play it. So we'll play that. I'll break that down a little bit. I have to play it one more time like that. So again, that first phrase. Sorry, I haven't quite picked the moment where to break that into a smaller chunk. It's one of these tunes that just keeps going, keeps going. Jigs can sometimes be really tricky to learn because they just keep rolling, rolling, rolling. And trying to find that right spot is challenging. So we have that there. How's that for everyone? And landing on that A. Right away. So we'll start over there. We'll kind of start. It'll be an awkward place to start. We'll start on the open A, but as we play through, it'll make sense. Let's get that much of it. A, B, C, B, A, G, G. Here's a hint. Okay. We'll try that, connecting those together. That last phrase is a little G arpeggio. G, A, B, D, B, A, G. One more of those. Okay, so we'll try putting that together. I snuck in the next phrase. So we'll get that there. A, B, C, B, A, G. Down to E, G, A. Again. Okay, I'll call the notes. A, B, C, B, A, G, G, E, G, A. One more time. Okay, so let's try this whole B part together. Yeah, how's that going for everyone? Great.
You're saying it's a G,
Yeah, you got it.
but ends on the 5 or the 2 minor.
Yeah, it's in the key of G major, but it starts on the 5 chord of the scale, the 5th note of the scale. So it starts unresolved and ends unresolved. So it's kind of pedaling around this D the whole time, but it has the payoff moment. It resolves in the middle of the tune. There's the 1 chord, the home. So yeah, it's a little bit challenging to play, and there are a lot of tunes like this. And as you start to kind of, this is like sort of the quintessential one of that. But as you start to build your repertoire of tunes, you're like, what is going on? What are the notes I'm looking for? This sort of tune is helpful to have. There are a whole bunch of other ones, but we won't worry about that now. Any questions? How's that going for everyone? All right, let's try playing it start to finish a bunch. Starts in that B. 1, 2, yeah, ba-do. Let's put that C and then the second time like Martha did. Whoops. B part. Yeah. How's that going for everyone? Good, 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 good. Yeah, it's a very meditative tune to me. I feel like it kind of just keeps folding over on itself over and over again. It's not decided about itself. It has a lot to think about.
I'm just having trouble hearing where the A section kind of starts, where that first note actually lands.
Ah, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that's it. So there's this pickup note. That's kind of a pickup. One on that pickup. So that A is actually
Cool.
the downbeat.
Awesome.
Yep. Any other questions about that tune? No questions. We got through that pretty quickly. At least I think we did. It's always a big question about I could be teaching you. I have no idea what you guys are doing. It could just be, yeah, it could be really interesting cacophony.
That's probably closer to the truth.
Yeah, but
I have a
let's see.
random
You
question.
got a question? Yeah, go ahead.
I really want to put an A minor
Mm-hmm.
chord under one of the C notes, like close to the end of the last repeat on the B part. But is that, it doesn't really, I mean, it feels pretty ballsy. I've been playing around with it. Would you do that? Like,
I feel like that's a challenge.
I mean, would you do that or no?
Yeah, I would. Let me just see. The only way this will work, because I don't really want you guys to listen to me listening to me sing falsetto while I play chords. Let me just see what's happening in the kitchen. Liana might be there. 1 second. Not that like my wife is always in the kitchen. That's not the implication I'm trying to make there. I'm usually the one in the kitchen. So 1 second.
What's she cooking?
No, it's usually me. Hey, Liana, would you be able to play this tune to us? Yeah, she's going to join us in just a second. Speaking of cooking, but I had a little, well, she's getting her fiddle. I'll tell you my latest cooking endeavor. As I mentioned, maybe at some point, I've been working at the local soup kitchen, cooking there, and we get all sorts of crazy donations all the time from places. And we got, we had like, what is it? 3 of them, 3 whole pork loin quarters. So like the entire top length of a pig, 3 of them. So 6 pieces total. So I ended up taking one of them. We're not going to use it in the soup kitchen. It's too much. So my friend Joe Walsh and I smoked them in his yard. I was there for 7 hours, just drinking beer, smoking meat. I had to butcher them all up, and I took a big shower, and I still smell like wood smoke and grease and everything. It's the whole house. I just am oozing the smell of smoked meat. Pretty crazy. Here comes Liana. She's coming. I won't discuss you anymore, but it was pretty fun. I got to use a bone saw. Exciting stuff. Yeah, it was hands-on. And my apologies to any vegetarians, but
Serial killer in the making.
oh yeah. Here she comes. But I'll get my guitar here. Yeah, so the question on that A minor, I would really like that you were talking about putting it in somewhere in that B part, I think. So that's an A, and I'd actually half it with a C. A, C, G, A, C, G, D. Go G down to that D. I might even do what would be a nice thing. might not do that every single time, but that G, E minor is nice. It might be okay the other way too. Da, do, da, da, C, G, dum, ba, do, da, da, do, dum. A minor, C sharp, E minor, G. That's cool too. E minor, G. You could E minor, G. E minor, G, D. So all those chords, like, you know, it's really just the three chords you need, D, C, G, but any, aside from a B minor, you wouldn't really use that, but you could use the relative minor on any single one of these chords. The D kind of needs to be a D, but A minor, you could swap in half it with a C, E minor with G, and there's maybe some other things. You could learn with, lead with some B notes. Yeah. Any other questions about that?
Yeah, would you mind playing the accompaniment so we can play on our own and
Yeah, try playing along with me.
Yeah.
1, 2, here we go. Da, 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 da. Oh, let's mute each other though, because then it'll be, I gotta just make sure we're all muted, because that'll be a mess. Here we go. 1, 2, and we go. Ba-da. Here's Liana. How'd that go for everyone? Did that make sense? So we'll try again. Here's Liana.
Hello.
And yeah, if you want to give any sort of think about maybe some specific ornamentation for fiddle too, that'd be kind of, we could have a little Q&A for that too, because I can't really help them with that. Do that thing where like the fiddle goes blah, blah. All right.
Maybe after we play it and I think of something.
Okay. 1, 2, here we go. How'd that go for everyone?
I wish I could clap too.
Yeah.
Not having heard any of it.
Yeah, I just wanted this is a little chance just for like some ornamentation or fiddle specific related questions since Leon's here. Does anyone have any of those? None.
Well, I'd like to just ask sort of a general question. I mean, I think like when I think of Irish fiddle playing in particular, there's always like the first thing I'm thinking about is sort of rolls and highly ornamented style, but I don't have a sense of like what the convention is. Like, are there certain places where you feel it's just natural to put them in, or are there certain places where you would never put one in? Is there a hard, fast rule, or is it just a free for all?
I think that it depends a lot on the style, the individual style. Like different styles of Irish fiddle vary a lot. And I think the only rule that I would say is just like don't overdo one ornament. That's the only thing I can really think of is like, you hear some people like putting in lots of like slides or like lots of rolls or anything that you do, if you do it all the time, it will get repetitive and people will start just hearing that. So that's kind of the only thing. I think like listening to different players who you really like and just like trying to identify what it is that they're doing that you like. That's kind of what I do. I think for this tune, like the one thing that jumps out to me is the da 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 da. Like it's a very pipey tune, and so like I try to kind of like imitate the pipes with the kind of rolls that I'm doing.
Can you give an example?
I felt very like put on the spot. So just like that wasn't very pipey sounding, but that kind of roll, like that's a kind of what I guess it would be like a crayon or something that the pipes would do. So yeah, whatever like you want to draw out from the tune.
Yeah. Any other fiddle questions? No pressure. It's fine if there aren't any. I do need to learn all like the names of the ornaments, but
I don't know if I know the names.
Yeah.
Half of them.
So I would like to let's go ahead and play the Queen of the Rushes and then go into this tune as a little switch. Let's.
Am I doing that again?
Yeah, we'll all.
We know how that went last time.
We'll all explore how that can go together before we do it.
Remember the tune?
Oh yeah, jazz. So that last part of the Queen of the Rushes. So let's get that under our fingers again. We'll go a little slower. There's that switch. Here comes. Okay, how's that seem for everyone? Here we go. So we'll try the first tune. We're gonna test all of our memory. We'll do it 3 times. So don't worry about first time we'll all just completely screw it up. Second time we'll catch up, and then the third time will be amazing, and then it'll be over. So and then we can repeat the process all over again. One more. Here we go. Starts on a B. Excellent. Thank you, Liana. But yeah, I just really love the feel of that switch, especially because it's that hidden key of G. You don't really know what's happening until like halfway through that switch, and then all of a sudden some clarity comes. That's kind of nice.
So if you were playing melody and you were playing with an accompanist, how would you cue them? Would you say like key of G, but it starts on the 5, or would you just say like D because that's like sort of how would you?
That's an excellent question. Probably saying I'm okay at talking while I'm playing. I'm not the greatest, so I might try G, but starts in the 5. I might try that. G starts on D. You could do that. G starts on D. I might
Yeah.
say that. But if you say, it depends also who the accompanist is. If you
Yeah, you
just
don't
say,
want to micromanage them, but that's such a beautiful tune. A accompanist who isn't ready for that could totally tank it, and then it would be like really sad.
it'd be very sad. It'd be a sad day.
Because it's really beautiful, but it sort of needs a accompanist who understands the nuances of how
Yeah,
that.
so you could just say D, D, just say like starts on D. You could even say that. That and I feel like even somebody who's a good accompanist is listening to what's happening and is engaged with the music equally. So I think if you say starts on D, that's enough information to say, okay, starts on D, that I have to pay attention. I know where I'm starting and I gotta be thinking. So yeah, that's a good question. It's hard to communicate sometimes. I never want to tell anyone to not be playing because playing music's fun. But if it's not going well, when an accompanist is not really picking up where that's going. Fortunately, if I'm playing melody, I'm playing a fretted instrument, so I can just be slamming chords around left and right, so I can kind of correct the ship.
That's concertina's good for that too. If you really want a certain chord, you can just blast it.
Yeah, right here. It's here. C, play C chord. Yeah, that's a good question. Any other questions about that tune? Let's see, we've got about 8 minutes left.
I was wondering if you could maybe elaborate on any advice about accompanying, and also maybe if there's any like great accompanists maybe to check out or that you'd recommend looking out for could be helpful.
Sure. Yeah, and feel free, people, to throw suggestions in on the chat too, who are there. Let's see, advice on accompaniment. Something I talk a lot about if I'm teaching an accompaniment class, and this is kind of a big picture sort of thing, but it's good to have this. Traditional music is an evolving, it's a living and evolving thing. And I like to, what I try to do as an accompanist is be as aware of sort of that timeline of evolution so that I can fit appropriately along with other players depending on like what they're into. Maybe somebody's picked a moment in time that the way that tunes were played from the 1920s from some wax cylinders, that's what they want to do, and I would pick accompaniment for that sounded like this. So it's like all crinkly and staticky, and that's obviously what they're into, but that's just a joke. No, but yeah, like that's just to say that like if you want to be an accompanist and you're looking to do this, just expanding your knowledge of sort of like different styles and different moments in time, that would be a huge thing to do, because there's just a lot of different ways to accompany music, and you can kind of hear how it affects stylistically what's happening around it. Thanks, somebody threw my name in there. Extra points for Jonathan. But yeah, listening closely, that's a huge part. You never just want to be on autopilot. And a lot of times there are kind of chord progressions that you can kind of rely on. Like the more you play along with tunes, you'll say like, okay, this sort of basic concept is generally working for a lot of tunes in D, or this is working for a lot of tunes in G. But you never want to get, that should be like your starting point. If you kind of find like some sort of basic frame of chords that you think works well, every tune's a little different, so you want to be able to tailor and adjust this stuff. You never want to just lock into like the classic just poison pill that you hear is like somebody will find a tune in A minor, let's say like they're playing in A minor, it's A minor and G. Pretty much every A minor tune can just get along with A minor and G, but then somebody might figure out if they go down a little further and they get an F chord, and then they just go up to G, and then this ends up happening through every A minor tune. Yeah, all along the Watchtower Syndrome, exactly. So, that's just an example of like maybe you're fooling around. I've been talking about a lot of chord substitutions, particularly in that last tune. And you never want to just like have an agenda that you have your cool chords that you're going to play. I certainly know enough tunes now, and that like there are tunes that I have little things that I like to highlight and pull out, just like Diana was talking about that A minor chord on that tune. Using that A minor to sort of highlight is really nice. But that's not necessarily to say Diana was saying something along the lines of like, is that too ballsy to do every single time? And I think if you have that like little voice in your head, is like, is this too much? Am I burying this tune? The answer is probably yes.
Is there still space left in your right hand picking techniques or whatever for the Maestro Bistro class?
Oh, that was last week. That already happened.
Oh, are you serious?
It happened. Yeah. The Main Fiddle Camp Maestro Bistro.
Oh, too bad. Well, that would have been a good
All
one.
of you must come to Main Fiddle Camp when things become
Can you run
normal.
that class again?
What's that?
Can you run that class again?
I might do it again at some point. Yeah.
Or did they record it?
I think I actually recorded it. So.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd love to check it.
Yeah, we can talk about some of that stuff. But yeah, teaching accompaniment is really tricky when you're not playing with other people. It's really weird in this vacuum.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, it feels like this tune, I kind of wanted to pick a slightly easier tune this week just to make sure we're all kind of feeling good about getting the tune and succeeding. But I think next week we might get a little more squirrely. I think we're going to go back to reels. So just to give you a heads up, it's going to be reel week. Yeah. Well, I think that just about does it. Any other last questions, observations, concerns?
Oh, I'm just glad you're keeping it real.
Oh, yeah, man. Ooh, yeah, you've been sitting on that one all week.
I've been waiting, just waiting.
I want to extend another thank you to your wife for coming to play.
Oh, yeah.
It's really such a treat to get to, I mean, no, we're not in the same room as you, but it like feels really fun to jam along with you in our own little bubbles. So
yeah, that's great. Yeah,
it feels really special.
Yeah, I'll let her know. Yeah, I think she feels sometimes like, wait, what now? Okay, what? So, we'll plan ahead for next week a little bit better. So we'll be in our quarantine, so it'll be pretty easy. Something to look forward to. All right. Well, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Owen.
Oh, and also, I
Thanks,
guess
Owen.
we didn't talk about, before we all go, we didn't talk about, I recorded this, and I guess I haven't really shared, I'll figure this out, but yeah, I'll share the recordings with you all. Isaac missed last week. He wanted that recording, so I'll send that out. So look to your email. I'll send out last week's and this week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Owen.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Owen.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.